It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you, when you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the brand new show with Let's Be Answer. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with AITAH, and I have no idea where everybody else is. They're coming. Just don't know when. Damn technology. And Anna's gone. We got to keep it going. Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe. As you can see from the title, I wasn't going to discuss Trump being indicted by the Georgia because it was brand new, but at the same time, I did it because it was brand new. So I went on and stuck it in there along with the usual Reddit stories, Am I the A-hole, Foxy's videos of the week. And on top of that, we also have a Mickey joke of the week, really short video and everything. But thank you everyone for coming on. Please do not forget to hit that like button while you're in here. I truly appreciate it. The more likes that we get during the show, the more that the algorithm will spread out to everybody on YouTube that we are live. So the more likes that we get, the more people will come in and start watching. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look and see who's all out there. Parker said, hey, what's up? Right on time, so I don't have to figure out what's going on midway through one of these stories about a husband or wife doing some shenanigans, LOL. Yeah, because yeah. Oh shit, it's Saturday. Eek. Hello, Mickey. And hello, Parker. And hello, Theus.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Ashley realized you may be covering the Trump story first. Yes, yes, we are going to cover the Trump story first just to get it out the way. How you, Mickey and Anna? Anna had to, in case you didn't know, Anna had to jump off to come back in.
I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, she was on here, and then she couldn't. The sound wasn't coming through. Got to do the indictment. Hell, 91 felony indictments. So much fun.
He's a busy man.
Yeah, and by the way, in case anybody else wants to know,
Hey,
hello,
Susan.
Susan. In case anybody else wants to know, it may still not be over because Arizona is also doing the exact same investigation as Georgia. We don't know what's going to come from that. I think they should go through with it. I can tell you that. The only thing I did not like, that I purposely did not like, is somebody asked the Arizona governor, do you think that the state should indict Trump on the same things that they did in Georgia? And he was like, yes, absolutely. They purposely should do it. Yep, they should absolutely do it. And I'm like, dude, don't get involved as a governor in this. Always keep your judicial system away from your administration, because it comes off. I'm not saying that it is or isn't. I'm just saying it comes off as if you are controlling your judicial system and state, national, whatever. Don't do it. Stay out of it. Don't open your mouth about it. No comment all the way through any questions about it. Just stay out of it. But it's already been said. I'm just saying for future references, when that question come up, no comment. Hey, Trump lovers, to constantly say that he's number one. Well, he finally hit it. He hit it with the first indictment. I mean, let's be realistic. The very first president to be indicted on any cause. He's the first. Hey, Anna, welcome back.
Hey. Sorry.
He is truly a historical figure.
Mm-hmm.
He will truly go down in America. He may go down in world history. I mean, we're literally talking about a country that's 200 and semi years old, 47 presidents at this time?
46, 446.
246.
Oh, we're on 46. Number 46.
46. Right. 200 semi years of a country, 46 presidents, and you are the only president to get indicted. And I know we could joke and you're the only one that got indicted 4 times. No, you're the only one that got indicted, period. Period. Like, do you know how protective the seat of the presidency was, where a lot of stuff got swept under the rug just to protect the name? And you effed up so bad, they couldn't even do it. They just couldn't.
They tried.
They tried. Like I said, we said on the show the other day, do you not believe if Trump didn't just give the boxes away, it wouldn't have been news? Oh, he made a mistake. We got the boxes back. We're done. But TY is not letting me comment. Hi, everybody. Hello. YouTube is not letting me comment. Hey, Tracy. Not letting you comment? Shouldn't. I mean, it should. Too bad it's so hard for folks to see how many of these there are. It is.
Yeah, on that note, man, it's really, well, it's not disconcerting because my estimation of people as a collective continues to go downwards on a horrible spiral. But you're hearing more and more where the media is giving us as individuals such a big cop-out, where they're saying, well, it's too many things now. People just can't keep track. I'm like, you can't keep track of 4 things? 4.
2
Well,
state, 2
just
federal.
focus on 2. Pick 2. I mean, it's like
Mhm.
it's so disconcerting, but it's real. Like
Yeah.
people, like I want to say the media is spinning, and they are spinning because they got to keep our focus and everything. But people really are like that, where they just cannot seem to be like, well, documents can't. What is it, huh? So, and they'll mix all the cases together, and
Mhm.
and they'll say that some cases don't even matter. Where I'm like, you're only doing that because you know there are multiple, so you're trying to compare them somehow, and you can't do that. Is
No.
Well,
did he
you
do
know,
this thing, and did he do this thing? So
you got it
it's
now
sad.
where they're trying to use terrible
Mhm.
logic, by the way. That, oh, so now the president can't lie. Oh, now politicians can't lie. And it's like, dude, you can't downgrade
Which is
what
great.
he did to, he simply lied.
No, but this is what's great about that line of logic. Well, the worst part about it is the media is completely uninterested, disinterested, in exposing what's being said. But the followers are now saying, so you're telling me his First Amendment rights can't be protected? You're saying that he's wrong because he was lying. I am saying that this is not a First Amendment case. That's the first thing. And then 2, I'm saying, yeah, lying should still be wrong. Like, for you to sit in some of the highest positions in the nation, ability to influence random people's lives, you should have a higher standard of conduct, not a lesser one. So to be in Congress and to intentionally lie, yes, yes, you should lose your job. To be
Mhm.
the president and intentionally lie, unless you're doing it within the scope of being the president, because there are times a president needs to lie to people. Yes, lying is wrong. This isn't hard, but they never ever challenge. Like, my favorite one, and I'll drop it. Ron DeSantis, I think that's his name. Yeah, that guy. All
Florida.
right,
Yeah.
so he was in that interview. This is probably 2 weeks old at this point, where he was on a conservative talk show because he only goes on conservative things,
Okay.
and
Oh, he learned his lesson
they were
from
like, "Do
going to the
you,
wrong side of the aisle.
huh?"
I said he don't learn his lesson from going to the wrong side of the aisle and getting one person to raise his hand saying he vote for him.
He likes safe spaces.
Hundreds.
Yeah, because that was a bad PR stunt, dude. But anyway,
Mm.
the host asked him, "Do you think Trump can get um, a fair trial in D.C.?" And DeSantis was saying, "No, there's no way he's going to get a fair trial in a liberal place like like D.C. It needs to be moved somewhere else." I would have loved. It was probably Chuck Todd. No, Chuck Todd isn't conservative, but he had a chance to do this too. But anyway, whoever it was, I would have loved for them to turn around and say, "Well, can a liberal get a fair trial in Florida?"
Hmm. Mhm.
Right? Let's get this on the record real quick, because what you're saying is dangerous. What you're saying is conservatives should only be judged by conservatives, and conservatives should be able to judge liberals. But liberals should not judge conservatives, and liberals should not judge liberals. So the only people who can judge everybody
It's
is
conservative.
conservative. And that harkens us back to a really bad couple 100 years of American history where you would have all white juries, no matter what the offense was, no matter who was involved, because you believe that white people in America were the only ones able to be intellectual and think through a process, and everybody else is emotionally driven. And that's the echoes that we're hearing when these people are talking. So I just wish they would flesh it out, man. Turn the light on.
It ain't been 15 minutes, man. Y'all getting gold in 15. Let's get this party started. So let's just go ahead and just dive right into it and waste no more time. Here's the Georgia DA discussing the indictment in Georgia.
Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state. The indictment includes 41 felony counts and is 97 pages long. Please remember that everyone charged in this bill of indictment is presumed innocent. Specifically, the indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump, Rudolph William Louis Giuliani, John Charles Eastman, Mark Randall Meadows, John Cheeseborough, Jeffrey Clark, Jenna Lynn Ellis, Ray Stallings Smith III, Robert David Cheeley,
and a host of a lot more names, of course. I just didn't want to go through them because after a certain amount, it's people we never even heard of. I didn't never do. So it was the first few that we've heard of, prolific, all the way in your face and everything like that. So the deal is Georgia has opened up a RICO case. And later on, I'm going to show you a video of what a RICO case is, because a lot of people like, oh, that's bad. That's terrible. Did they use that against the mob back in the day? And then other people's like, what the hell is a RICO? And really is. So I have a video that's going to explain it, so nobody's confused on that and play around with it. So this will be the fourth indictment. And Anna, you wasn't on here when I was saying this, that there may be a fifth indictment coming out of Arizona. So we're not even particularly sure about that. And the only issue I had with Arizona is I wish the governor would have kept his mouth shut. Some reporter asked the governor of Arizona, do you think that Arizona should indict Trump the way Georgia is? And he was, yeah, absolutely, positive. And I don't like that. Don't do that. You're an executive. That's traditional. It's supposed to be separate. You ain't supposed to know what you ain't supposed to do nothing what they doing. You just stay out of it. But anyway, so Georgia has decided to indict Donald Trump. 41 counts of the RICO Act. Again, like I said, it'll break it down later on what's involved in the RICO Act. All the names that's involved in it. They have until next Friday, whenever you see this. So in case you see it later, they have until the 25th, noon of the 25th, to turn themselves in. There was a former Department of Justice DA who said, well, what if they don't turn themselves in? And the guy flat out said that they have every right to send a warrant out and arrest them whenever they find them. Mm-hmm. So either you could turn yourself in or you can leave in handcuffs. This, for you, that statement came up again about, yes, they are going to take mud shots of everybody that's arrested. And they're sticking to that.
That's cool. I mean, if I could be wrong, I'll be, yeah, but I'm not wrong until they do it. But I mean, I could be wrong. No sweat off my back. Personally, I think that the infatuation with the mugshot and all of that is just about self-aggrandizement. It's just people wanting their little bloodlust satisfied. So we like to be entertained, and that would be part of our entertainment. And we feel like we have been denied that portion of entertainment. Because what do we really get out of seeing a mugshot of Trump? We've seen pictures of Trump happy, sad, and in between
Mm-hmm.
30 years. You know, so if he gets a mugshot, cool. If he doesn't, cool. If this camera's on, cool. There's no cameras, cool. I prefer cameras not for the reason that most people do. Most people prefer cameras, and I'm being judgy, are just messy. You're just messy ass folk and just want to see the show. I advocate for cameras because his followers are brain dead zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And while even them seeing it won't change them so much, it still at least becomes real to them. Right? Anything done behind closed doors for this group of knuckle draggers, they can create all kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Right? They tied them up and stuck them in the corner, and they were beating them with ropes or something. I don't know. They'll come up with something. So that's why I would like to see cameras for that purpose. But whatever. We'll see.
The mugshot will come out, and they'll go around and say that it's not real. The picture.
Trump gonna make a lot of money off that mugshot.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So really, what are we really gonna get out of this? I hate to be. No, actually, I love being that guy. I love being this guy. What do you really want to get out of this? Let's be real. We want to see him look like he's being humble. That's what we want. The trial is supposed to be what does that, but we want to see it. We want to see him with poor lighting and taking a picture where he has no control. That's what people want, because we messy. We all messy. I'm trying to deny my messiness and say, screw it, I don't need to see it. But he's going to take that mugshot and he is going to make millions. All his supporters going to have shirts framed. It's a setup job. And whatever. It's going to be Trump shirts everywhere. You think that chair got around?
We have a full makeup desk right in the other room. So, okay, I'm ready for my close-up.
Right?
He's waiting for it.
He's daring the judge to arrest him.
He's
daring the judge to throw him in jail. I mean, he's daring the judge to throw him in jail.
Yeah.
Because what better way of making more money or making yourself more?
I'm going to jail for all of you.
Yep.
And one of the most beautiful things about what if he is able to push the judges to the point where they do some form of control, is let's say they put him on home confinement. Let's just say they do that. That's about the worst they do to him.
Right.
Now he's gonna save all kind of money because he's not spending campaign money on a campaign. He's spending it on his legal defense, which should be illegal, but whatever. He's using it for his legal defense. So now he can have video of him in his house, beamed into whatever form needs to be beamed into, and he automatically seems like the leader who's under siege. And it's just perfect for him. And he doesn't have to worry about being effective on the campaign trail, because out of the 8 people running, 6 of them are going to do his campaign for him. So,
right. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to really discuss what the indictment is.
Every individual charged in the indictment is charged with 1 count of violating Georgia's Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act through participation in a criminal enterprise in Fulton County, Georgia, and elsewhere to accomplish the illegal goal of allowing Donald J. Trump to seize the presidential term of office beginning on January 20th, 21. Specifically, the participants in association took various actions in Georgia and elsewhere to block the counting of the votes of the presidential electors who were certified as the winners of Georgia's 2020 general election. As you examine the indictment, you will see acts that are identified as overt acts and those that are identified as predicate acts, sometimes called acts of racketeering activity. Overt acts are not necessarily crimes under Georgia law in isolation, but are alleged to be acts taken in furtherance of the conspiracy. Many occurred in Georgia, and some occurred in other jurisdictions and are included because the grand jury believes they were part of the illegal effort to overturn the results of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. The acts identified as predicate acts or acts of racketeering activity are crimes that are alleged to have been committed in furtherance of the criminal enterprise. Acts of racketeering activity are also charged as separate counts in the indictment against those who are alleged to have committed them. All elections in our nation are administered by these states, which are given the responsibility of ensuring a fair process and an accurate counting of the vote.
Okay. Overt and predicate. Overt is acts that are done that under Georgia law may or may not be against Georgia laws.
By
Predicate,
themselves, yeah.
Predicate is, yeah, it is against Georgia laws. Now, why are they counting the overt acts when you have predicate acts? Because the overt acts that some was doing, that was done, that they alleged to be done, let's be fair, that's hard for me to do, that are alleged to be done was acts that was supposed to lead up to the predicate acts. You've had to
tie it all together.
To tie it all together. One had to be done for this to be done. So the one that wasn't against the law, maybe or may or may not have been against the law, but it had to be done so it could lead up to the act that was specifically against the law. And this is how it was explained to me by a guy I trust on YouTube. So it's the same thing as saying the act of buying a gun is not against the law. The act of buying a gun to rob a bank is against the law. So just in case anybody gets confused about these words, that I ain't gonna lie to you, it's the first time that I heard them, but now that it was explained to me that way, I like.
Yeah, we're probably more familiar with the term of in furtherance. So like the overt acts are in furtherance of the predicate acts, right? So you did these things in order for these things to be able to happen, right? Like Marlon said, you had to go buy the gun, or you had to go rent the car, or you had to go steal the car, or you had to go, but at the end of the day, what you are trying to do is affect the outcome of the election in an illegal manner, right? So everybody's playing their role, But I'm going to say one quick thing about the legal system. Now, I know I'm out on a limb here, but I just can't be someone who is against the way the legal system works every day. And then because something is happening the way that I like for it to happen, pretend like I'm on their side all of a sudden. That's hard for me. So Trump did what he did, and he needs to be prosecuted and all that good stuff. And it's cool with me that this is going down because the same people who always want to tell people on my side of the political ideology spectrum to just, trust the system and obey the law. And if you didn't do anything wrong, they wouldn't bother you. And right? Okay. So good for the goose, good for the gander. I'm with you there. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is the same prosecutor that used RICO to put a bunch of school teachers in jail and administrators in jail because they were lying and doing things to try not to get in trouble and mess up the school funding. So they were committing criminal acts in Georgia law. Criminal acts, definitely wrong acts, but criminal acts in order to do this. So I think that was very heavy-handed to use RICO. Also, she's using it against this YSL thing, whoever that rapper is and his crime syndicate that they want to call, right? Young Slime Life or something like that. These people. So I don't know nothing about that case, and I don't even care. But then also, RICO is used across the country, especially at the federal level, to escalate the charges for bottom offenders. Like, so if you are a member of a gang, you're like a member of Bloods, Crips, or what like that.
Right.
They use RICO law to come get you because you fly the colors. This guy did it. Okay? He did the crime. This guy over here, you don't hang with him, you don't chill with him, but you fly the colors. You are part of the same organization. And so they tie the drugs, the extortion, the violence, they tie it all to your little narrow behind and put your 18-year-old butt in prison for 15 years. When another person would have gotten 2 years, 5 years, but because they can use RICO to pull all the other crimes together, they hit you with it. So it's like, I can't be a fan of RICO. I'm good with them using it with Trump just because it seems to line up, but I'm not going to be in the cheering section for it. All I want is if the guy committed the crime, then go ahead and prosecute him. But let's just be real with why they're doing RICO and they're not doing it as any other way. I suspect Georgia's having trouble being able to bring the hammer down on Trump. RICO makes it easier to get to Trump because now I can say, Trump, your inner circle. You got the lawyer lady who went and stole stuff in Coffee County, stealing election machines. You got Rudolph over here making up lies about the election workers. You got the lady who used to work for Kanye West going out there harassing the election workers. You got Trump making that phone call. RICO allows you to pull all of these people's individual crimes together and look at Trump and say, but you're the boss.
You got to understand something about the RICO Act. The RICO Act was specifically created to fight mob. Period. It was specifically created to fight mobs around the country. That was
because it's too hard to get the boss.
Yes, that was its sole purpose. And yeah, exactly. You can't get the top person, so let's work our way from the bottom up. We know who the players are. We know who the boss are, but we couldn't connect the players to the boss until now. So now, in a majority of time, and let's be realistic because I agree with everything that Thiz is saying, and this is my opinion and my opinion only. Basically, the RICO Act is used to flip the smaller fish, so to speak, to get to the big fish. We got you. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in jail? You need to cooperate with us. That's what the RICO Act was used for. We can't get to the big boss, even though we know who the big boss is and all the things that they did. We tried the easy so-called easy way of just going and threatening the little guys and saying, hey, we're coming after your boss, or if you don't say something about it now, we're coming after you. No, because I know my boss is crazy, and I ain't that crazy to flip on my boss. Ta-da, here comes the RICO Act. It ain't the fact that I'm going after this or after Tracy individually. No, I'm going after Marlon and Theus and Anna and Tracy and Mickey and Susan and Parker. What are y'all going to flip? What are y'all going to flip? And when the one person flip and I get information that I need, guess what I'm going to use? I'm going to use it on Theus now. Theus, now I know what you done. Now, when you want to make a deal, did I get information from Theus? Haha, Anna, I got this information on you now.
But the thing about that is that's actually their normal process. But when you can't get the people to flip, here comes RICO. Because RICO said, hey man, I'll try to let y'all cut deals. You ain't want to cut deals. So now you who stole the car, I'm putting the murder charge on you.
Right.
And that's because I know that this person over here is the enforcer, you're the driver, this person over here is the dealer, this person over here is the money man, and then somewhere in the sky is the guy or the gal who calls all the shots. But that person doesn't write, hear what I'm saying, that person doesn't make phone calls, doesn't do text messages, doesn't do email, doesn't write anything down. It's hard to get that person. So okay, we're gonna get all y'all, and all of you get the same stuff. All y'all get all of it. It's useful for breaking up gang activity, because I don't support gang activity. I don't, right? Because I view it as parasitic behavior. But I'm just saying use it effectively and properly. I feel like RICO has become a tool that is just being leveraged because it's hard for the individual to fight back.
Guess who decided to come back in? Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while.
It's been a while. The RICO Act is, and this is an attorney, so I'm listening to her.
Okay.
The RICO Act is used to get the big boss directly, just use it other ways. By the time the government goes through the trouble of using it, they already have the information. Instead of charging them with blowing up the bank, they charge them with the conspiracy. And welcome back, man. We missed you on this show, but I know you've been really busy. So thank you for coming back in. So I don't even know why we went to the situation, said all that we said. Let's go ahead and clear definition of the RICO Act.
Okay. So what exactly are RICO charges and how might they fit into this case? We went to our legal experts to find out more about the criminal statute. RICO is actually an acronym. It stands for the Racketeer Influenced and Corruption Act. It's a law that is most often used to fight organized crime like the Chicago mob, or more recently, the charges against rapper Young Thug and the YSL gang. So what constitutes RICO charges? It can include cases like theft, murder, drugs, or even prostitution. The important part is that prosecutors must show a pattern of 2 or more crimes committed by this group of people that are organized together. According to the law in Georgia, all it takes is 1 or more of the acts that form the pattern resulted in the defendant acquiring or maintaining control of any enterprise, property, or money. In this case, the 2020 election results, a conviction under Georgia's RICO statute is likely to result in a 5 to 20-year sentence or fine or both.
Yo, all I gotta say is that young brother reminds me of a young me. I'm sorry, brother. This is your future. I feel for you, but enjoy your beautiful youth. I mean, the glasses, the hair. I didn't over enunciate the way that he does, but he's in media, he's in the news, so he has to. But yeah.
All right, so
I take random things out of these videos. Sorry.
I see. She says, I've been listening to the replays. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey,
Thank you.
everybody that's new here, if you haven't, please go ahead and hit that like button. Like I said earlier during the show, the more likes that we have on the show during the live show, the more the YouTube algorithm recommend our show live to more people. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. So,
And chat with each other.
yes, yes. And the more chats does the exact same thing. Chats and likes create the algorithm to suggest our show to more people. So chat away with each other, talk to each other, question each other. Hey, look, hey, how you doing? Fine. How are you? Good. How's the weather? Good. How's the weather there? Good. Did you get any rain? Yeah. Oh, by the way, California's about to get a hurricane? Like,
Yeah. We have a whole
So
lot
I
of
was gonna
storms.
say, and then y'all, all interaction is good interaction. Just remember, I'm only one of 4 people. So if you don't like me, still hit the like button because you like the rest of them. Okay. So just saying.
Rudy should get the most prison time, in my opinion. I almost would be more happy if he had to take a mud shot.
I heard a funny. Well, it's not funny. This is sad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say it this way, but I'm okay with it. I look at Rudy like I look at who is that Lindbergh, whatever that guy's name was. I just don't like him. You know,
Oh, Rush
Limbaugh?
Limbaugh. There we
Rush
go.
Limbaugh.
Yeah,
Oh.
that guy. Right?
Well,
They're the same kind of person to me. So somebody was saying that given his health and his financial situation, they're not sure that Rudy gonna make it. So I guess we'll see. But they've been saying that about people all the time. But I don't know if I would say I want him to have the worst time. I think my number one would be Trump because of the way he flouts the law and he did it so brazenly.
It was a way for him.
And then number 2, I would actually say Sidney Powell because of she actually was directly involved in trying to steal election machines through subterfuge. So like she helped the people pretend to be something, go in there, get the machine, and then all this other weird stuff. Like she's gonna catch some serious time here in Georgia. They're gonna get her. And then I'll probably say Rudy, and then after that, whoever the chief of staff guy was, but he flipped like they were like, "Hey, we're gonna start an investigation." He was like, "Hey, we need to talk to you for a minute."
I got Trump, Rudy, and the only reason I put Rudy over the Kraken lady is because Rudy was just so far into making people believe that you're the stupid one, we're the smart ones, and he was getting on my nerve. I'm sorry, I'll take it personally. He was getting on my nerve because he was doing so much stupid stuff and pretending like it wasn't stupid. Like the Four Seasons thing, and you just pretend like, hey, I'm just gonna. It wasn't the Four Seasons Hotel. It was the Four Seasons gardening
landscaping.
Landscaper.
Yeah. But you standing out there like, what? This is
I get it. I get it. People don't like Rudy. I don't like Rudy. I don't like Rudy.
Oh, but let me say
I don't
this.
like Rudy because
I didn't like him all the way when he brought his mistress into the governor's mansion in New York. So
or broken windows.
Or
how he used RICO in New York.
But I'll go Trump, Rudy, Kraken, and Meadows. And by the way, I don't care Meadows flipped. I'm sorry. Meadows is on the same equivalent as who was the former because I'm brain fart now because it's late. Who was the former attorney general under Trump?
Bill Barr.
Bill Barr. Y'all in the same boat. Don't
nobody remember.
Don't make the damage and then you the good guy because you decided to help mitigate the y'all, you're a villain then, you're a villain now because you're only looking out for your own self now. It ain't out of the self, oh, maybe I was wrong. No, this is self-preservation, dude. So miss me. So Meadows would be fourth, but you still on my S list, dude. F you. You're not a good guy. This is you saving your own butt. So yeah, well, let's move on. We got 15 minutes left.
Yeah, we didn't get Anna's list.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
If you want to give one.
Let's skip Trump because we already got Trump at the top.
Right, he's at the top. I actually was thinking John Eastman next. It's sort of a correlation of he was working all of Trump's direct lines. Then I would have gone to, and I'm not sure if I would place Sidney or Giuliani or Paul or Giuliani third. I am not sure. Both of them were equally different parts of a campaign to get other people to start going, well, hey, maybe there were legitimate maybe, you know. So,
and they're both like stooges, so it's like it's hard to take either of them serious, and yet what they were doing was incredibly serious.
Incredibly. And it's really hard to, I guess I would say actually both of them are in slot number 3 for me. They're as equally dangerous. And I'm then basically the same. I also believe Bill Barr has a lot to answer for. And I don't care that Mark Meadows flipped or whatever. Y'all have a lot to answer for. So that would be my order.
Yeah, that's why I suspect Mark Meadows is trying so hard to get the Georgia case moved federal. Because, and this is all, conjecture, because I don't know that they've announced anything for real. But
really,
the fact that he's absent from all the federal charges, like, they didn't name him anywhere in the federal ones. So it makes you think that he's the lead cooperating witness. But then Georgia is not protected, right? You're dealing with the state there. So he's trying to get his move to the federal because everything he did while he was in his federal position. Trump is trying the same thing, by the way, but I don't think it's going to work. But he's trying to get it that way because I think he has deals at the federal level, and he's like, hey, guys, get me out of here, okay? I did everything you told me to do. I'm not supposed to be dealing with this. Y'all come get me. That's what I think is going on with him.
Mm-hmm. And yes, it is. Think of that. That's your cousin's kid. You're a kid of a cousin. Your cousin also had a kid. You're second cousins. That's way too close.
What happened?
I was answering the comment. Who married his second cousin? Mm-hmm. It is.
I have
ideologically
but
close.
But we shouldn't rope our personal feelings about Rudy into the act that Rudy did. Because, like, remember, he's a disgusting man.
I was not. Yes.
Right? He did the thing with who's that comedian? But he went on the show and it was during taping, and he basically was trying to get it on with the underage daughter, and they caught him with his pants undone. Right?
Uh-huh.
He's a disgusting man.
He's a
There's
Got to
enough
put
criminal
all of
stuff to
that
get them on, I
aside and
think.
look at the crime that we are examining right now.
Yeah, but we'll see what they do with these guys. I just
Oh, it will be a
I
character
want
assassination. We all know that. It's always.
oh yeah, there'll be character assassinations all over the place. What I do fear is the whole situation with Georgia, with protecting witnesses. This because it's going to roll up. Okay, if Georgia
Yeah.
doesn't show an ability to protect witnesses and jurors, then I would anticipate just human behavior at the federal level. You're going to start dealing with some issues with people being afraid to continue to testify, right?
Yep.
Especially if one of these people get touched. So it's a sad thing. And then people are like, well, they should go get Trump and lock him up for what these people are doing. Like the man, I don't know, Marlon, I don't want to step on your toes. So the guy and the lady, right, that did the terroristic threats. But that's still, you can't blame it on Trump. Like we know it's because of Trump, but you can't blame him.
No, not directly. Everybody is responsible for their own actions. It is still
Yep.
under his influence.
Because he's not saying go get these people.
Right. And it's a lot of other
So
people who are stupidly putting up names that are found all over. They're very common names, and not all of the addresses posted were correct. Not all of the photographs posted, I believe, were correct.
yeah, but terrorists don't care about that.
But they don't
And
care.
see, that's one of the things I need the media to start to do on all levels of media, independent and the corrupt systems that we have. Call it for what it is. These are terrorists. These are literal terrorists. When you go and comb through the legal document to find the names of the jurors and then start to release them on your talking chats and websites and things like that with messaging wanting to harm these people,
You are inflicting
that's a
terror.
terrorist.
All right, hold that thought because we got 10 minutes, and just in case anybody don't understand what's going on, take a look.
A group of Trump supporters have posted the names and addresses of Georgia grand jurors online.
A fringe website that often features violent rhetoric listed the names of the grand jurors that indicted Donald Trump and 18 of his co-defendants on state racketeering charges this week.
NBC News has decided not to name the website featuring the addresses to avoid further spreading that information.
The addresses were discovered by the nonpartisan research group Advanced Democracy, which was founded by former FBI investigator and Senate Intelligence Committee staffer Daniel Jones.
The grand jurors have come under attack in the days since Trump's indictment, which is the fourth criminal indictment brought against the former president.
And in the court documents, the names of all the jurors were made public, but not their addresses. Now their addresses are out there as well.
I want to make an apology that I know that I'm not being engaged because I did. I'm not, just be realistic. I did miss a lot of things that as Anna was talking about because I was monitoring the comments at the same time of listening to it. So far I figured out that Rudy really likes his family. Very, very strange sort of.
Well, just one member of the family.
Or just too close of a yuck, man. Just yuck. I'm sorry. I'm not playing yuck. Somebody said the comment. I'm not even gonna try to look it up, but yeah, you married your cousin's child. Ew. I mean, seriously, ew. Now, let's talk about this right here, because I had to get rid of somebody who had a strange fixation about her uterus. I have no idea what the hell was going on with that. Anna, don't even worry about it. I put her in timeout. If she comes back, knock yourself out. But it was something about Trump Jr. and her uterus and sniffing uterus. I don't know what the hell was going on. But my point is, okay, But I know I wasn't paying attention, but now I did pay attention to one part that Theus and Anna was talking about is this is a terrorist organization. The attack on the Capitol was a terrorist attack. You see how far they are willing to let somebody take control of their power simply because they agree with your racism, your bigotry, your hatred of everyone that you deem lesser, to the point where you can't even come up with policies and procedures to make yourself look better or feel better. No, you just figure, nope, we're going to go straight to threats and intimidation. Because that's all you know. That's all you, honestly, that's all you really know. You don't.
And it's what they've always done.
Let's go attack them. Let's go scare them.
And it's always what they've done. I mean, people hate when I go here, but just look at American history. The same ideology and the same ethnic grouping, the same gender alignment that is doing what's doing now, they use the same tactics and behaviors in the 60s, the same tactics and behaviors in the 20s, the same tactics and behaviors at the end of slavery. It's the same thing. So on one hand, there is, like you said, like an organizing sense to this, right? There's like almost like as they used to say, Al-Qaeda, right? You had the foot soldiers, which is Proud Boys and all them that's going to jail. You had the political strata. That's what these people in the House of Representatives right now doing the stuff that they do. You had the legal aspect. That's your Rudy Giuliani's and your Powells and the other lawyers who are constantly getting in this mess. So that's literally like Al-Qaeda. Like, you're operating on every level. Part of what you do looks legitimate, and then to back up that appearance of legitimacy, you have a very motivated, violent system ready to kick in to enforce what you want. Right? They like to keep leaping backwards and looking and saying this is like Hitler and fascism, because it's easier to do that because people in America aren't very well educated on much. So you say Hitler, we all know who Hitler is, right? Yeah. But Al-Qaeda is a little harder because Al-Qaeda speaks to the othering, and for the last 20 plus years, it's been an othering for Al-Qaeda, not recognizing, no, we're looking at behaviors and structures, and these people are emulating those same behaviors and structures, and they're continuing a very clear path of just terroristic acts going back to the founding of this country. So what we're up against on one hand is a Trump and a Trump acolyte problem. What we are also dealing with is a part of the very nature of our citizenship, a very nature of our society, a part of our country that we have glimpsed at but never truly dealt with. And that's why it keeps circling around. So there's so many layers to this thing, but what I feel is happening is they're going to scapegoat. I'm not saying Trump isn't responsible for things, but they're scapegoating Trump. This is where I agree with the so-called right to an extent. We need a pound of flesh. We need something that when action is taken, the powers that be can say, we did it, folks. We got them. And the real thing is, after you get rid of Trump, you have not gotten rid of the real problem. Trump just stirred up the mess that was already sitting there and gave it energy and gave it an outlet. But even when you get done dealing with Trump, what happens to the rest? You hope they just go back to sleep? Maybe they will. Maybe they won't.
I don't think so.
Well, everybody, that is our first hour. If you are new to the show, what we do is we take a 3-minute break. We call it the Mickey break.
Mickey break.
We call it the Mickey break to reboot and refresh. And we will see everybody in 3 minutes with Am I the A-hole? Real or Nah? a returning Mickey joke, and of course, Foxy's videos of the week. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I always stay dreaming, never imagine I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Higher to above you, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
I'm sorry, my dog knocked over my light, scared herself, ran into my bathroom, and like nearly would not come out.
Aw,
Yeah.
Baby.
mean light.
Oh, go leave that dog alone. Leave baby alone. Welcome to the second hour of Saturday Night Vibe. Let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to Tracy's website. Buy me a cup of coffee at tracymedia.com. Help support Tracy and all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Earhart's website, BorelliAetc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, you can send me an email at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. And there you go.
Nice and short now.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Finally had it packed
I'm
down.
just gonna say though, I mean, you did say Tracy's website incorrectly. I just wanna
Yeah, buy me a
that out
coffee.
there.
Buy me a coffee.com. What did I say? Buy me a
Yeah,
cup
you
of
said
coffee.
you buy me a cup of coffee.
Oh, buymeacoffee.com/Tracy Media LLC. I apologize. But in all seriousness, please go ahead and support her. Tomorrow, Radical Truth to Power is Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. We will completely break down Trump and the January 6th indictment. We're going to break that down in its purest form from beginning to end.
Isn't this the 96-page one?
This is the 40.
The Jan 6 is like 74 pages, I think.
74?
75
Okay.
pages.
74. So what's
Sorry,
the
I
40?
was shocked.
What's the 41 then? That's the
What
document.
we just funnies. What we just heard about.
This one was 91.
Oh, hell
I don't
no.
know what the shorter one was. I don't know, man.
The-
But these
I
are just
hate numbers.
indictments, so you know.
I hate numbers. And that's it. Mine's out.
Nope, I got the indictment. And this is the 41 page. It's federal.
It's federal. Okay.
Conspiracy to defraud the United States. Conspiracy.
So that's
to
Jan 6.
That's January 6th. Okay.
So that is the okay.
So
My
this is the 40
apologies.
this is the
I do a
45.
dyslexic thing with numbers. My apologies.
I just don't retain them, so
I don't even try.
He going to trial, y'all. They gonna make him
Oh,
go
for
into
everybody,
trial, y'all.
you can't remember which one is which. Yeah, we can either we'll go by numbers. Just break it down as 2 federal, 2 state.
It's very easy.
I can keep track which cases are which, but if you ask me how many pages it is, like saying
Right.
how many pages is in your favorite book, I don't know.
I've never been asked that question.
Depends on what edition of the book, really.
Yeah, and is it
Talking about
hard? Is it
First,
soft?
yeah. What font is it?
Yeah. How long is the prologue? You know, do we have all kinds of stuff. You know?
Preface. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Parker, you may not have forgot last week, so I'll remind you. I'm not a reader. I've never been I ain't gonna say I never. That's a lie. I was a reader in elementary and middle school. Well, let's not lie. Elementary and junior high, because that's what it was when I was going. It was junior high, not middle school. But elementary and junior high, and then somewhere in the middle of junior high, I was just like, yeah, I don't wanna.
I can tell y'all honestly, just so y'all know, I will almost certainly never read any of these indictments because I don't care enough. Like
I can say that.
Let the lawyers do what the lawyers do, and let's see what happens.
No, yeah. I want to. I'd rather have somebody. I have a couple of YouTube channels that I go to that really breaks down everything. And thank goodness.
I watch a lot of those.
Yeah, so I'll get my information from them. I'll get the information, and I'll have them break down the information. But yeah, I'm with this. I don't even know why I got this piece of paper on the floor. I'm not reading through this. I have no idea.
No, Marlon.
They into contact with and telling you how many pages it was, but I'm not gonna read it.
I need you to read it and have the highlights and all that good stuff. That's good. I'm just telling y'all that my attention span is much like a drunk gerbil. So I'm not gonna sit there and read that dense mess when it's not what motivates me, right? Like I don't like the legal system, but I appreciate the legal system. So it's like one of those weird relationships, right? So I think the prosecution is they a bunch of liars. I think the defense team are a bunch of liars. I think the government is a bunch of liars. I think us regular folks is a bunch of liars. So everybody out here lying. So let's just go ahead, see how this thing play out. I can't affect the outcome anyway.
I forget what country it was that I was reading about. But the very act of finding out that you have lied, not in a court, not in just that you lied, they can arrest you.
Yeah, I don't want to live there.
I
No,
don't
Now,
know what
you
personally,
they
I
you
go,
need
figure.
to.
Like,
I go to
wow.
Okay,
great.
Anna, I'm gonna need
Oh,
you to find out where that's at, so I don't accidentally go there. Cause
yeah, I go to great
I'll
pains not
research it.
to lie. Okay, so that's why y'all can fact check me all the time, and I'm happy with it because you ain't gonna find I might be mistaken, but I ain't gonna lie to you,
and
right?
yes, and
But
that's what I ain't going to jail for
But
because I
that's
made
the
a
thing.
mistake.
right,
So
because you got
hey,
places like
You have to
I'm
have
just
been
gonna
found
name a
to
few.
intentionally lie. It.
Yeah, but
yeah,
intent
but I
is
don't
judged by
want to
I'm
go.
somebody
sure they
else,
can
right?
twist
Like,
that.
Yeah,
you
I don't want
know,
to go. Okay, let me rephrase
like
it. I
the
don't want to
Philippines probably got
go
some
and
rules
get
like that.
arrested because I made a mistake and then have to prove to people I don't know that it was a mistake and not a direct lie. So, Anna, I need you to tell me what country this is.
I
So,
will.
North Korea,
No, it what?
certain parts of America.
No.
Like, don't go to Arkansas. I'm just playing. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, Arkansas. I know there's like 18 good people down there. Keep
Ooh.
doing your thing.
Oh man. Okay.
and as the numbers drop from viewerships,
In
Everybody,
Arkansas.
everybody. Bye. It was good seeing you.
thank you for coming up, and I apologize that you just stayed here for like 3 seconds and went, why the hell is he fucking with me? I just got before we get down to
Am
zero,
I one of the 18?
yeah, my one to
You
18,
might
I'm on
possibly
one of
be
the
one of the
thousands that
18.
Maybe.
before we drop down to zero, am I the a-hole? He's determined to have me thrown off of YouTube. I don't even know.
Somewhere in the Middle East.
Okay, here we go. My sister used to be a porn star.
I'm a 16-year-old girl. I have a half-sister who's 29 from my mother's first marriage. We had a good relationship given the age difference. A few months ago, it came out that she was an adult actress. Her biological dad disowned her, which made my mom super protective of her. My mom made my sister out to be this brave, amazing person. I didn't say anything, even when they would have casual conversations about her work at the dinner table. Someone from my school found out about a week ago, and her videos have been sent around. I'm not going into details of what's been happening, but I've lost friends and I was forced to delete all my social media. I've been staying in my room mostly, and I haven't been able to even look at my sister. My sister didn't know that any of this was going on until tonight. The mom of one of my remaining friends reached out to my mom to ask about everything. I don't know what was said over the phone, but I heard my mom yelling at me to come down to the living room. Then she called my stepsister and my stepdad for a family meeting. Long story short, my mom is angry at me for not defending my sister. Yo, what? And she wants me to reopen my TikTok account to make a public message defending my sister and name-shaming basically most of my school. I know this will make things worse, and I told her so. My sister was quite upset, so she asked me why I was ashamed of her and demanded that I explain why I couldn't support her. I was so angry at this stage. I screamed at my sister that this was all her fault and I will never support her or her life choices. And I wish that she wasn't my sister because my life has been hell, yet she has the nerve to play victim. It got really heated to the point where my dad walked me to my room and told me to stay there. My mom came in later, took my phone, and told me to pack my stuff up because I'd be staying with my aunt, my dad's sister, for the foreseeable future because she can't stand to be around me right now. Yo, what am I reading? I can hear them all in my sister's room. My sister is crying and my mom is comforting her.
You said, is this real or not? And I'm going to lean more with, what the fuck? Like, Dude, put down the internet. Whatever this Reddit
You're not
line
gonna
is
blame
taking
the
you to a
opinion for
dark place.
finding the stories.
It's taking you to a dark place, my
we're not
brother.
gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
They don't
We're
have
not gonna
nothing.
blame you for finding the stories, but you don't blame the people who put the stories up. So no, we're not going there.
I'm blaming everybody. And
Don't blame me.
the story is a nah. I mean, don't blame you. You delivered the food. I'm gonna blame the cook and the person who delivered it. But I'm gonna go with nah.
It's
I'm
not
gonna go with
really
nah. And the reason
why you keep
it's
saying
not.
nah?
Am I the
Am I the a-hole?
a-hole?
Oh, I'm still gonna go with nah. And then as far as somebody the booty hole here, the only booty hole is the mama. Okay, the mama the only booty hole. Well, no, the dad, the stepdad, the booty hole too, because he ain't playing his role right. But that's why I go there. Because if your sister want to go out there and twerk something for the streets, then that's on her. Go do your thing. But understand your actions have consequences, and this is the damage that you are now inflicting on the rest of your family and your baby sister. Because she's
still in
16.
school.
High school is a horrible place, right? Horrible. This girl, if this was a real story, this girl was smart to turn off her social media because there's nothing good coming out of that. No. Nothing.
Yeah, are we asking, is the mother the a-hole, or is the sister the a-hole for not?
Is the OP the a-hole?
No, the LP ain't no a-hole.
No.
But that family's something else. She might be better off going to live with her auntie. Go ahead and roll.
Come down to Awesome.
I'm sending you away. What time I need to be back by?
Because this is messed up.
Here's the two things that I got from this story. Number one, hey, we ain't gonna be talking about your former job at the dinner table. Like we talking about the weather. Like, nah. I'm not trying to shame you or anything like that, but to me, it's the equivalent of me and Foxy talking about our sex life at the dinner table. Nobody else wants to hear about that.
Oh, there might be a market out there, you know. The sister done found a market.
I'm pretty sure my kids don't want to hear about all this.
Yes, in family situations, you generally don't want to bring out the intimacy talks.
Although, right as I say that, I keep thinking then Anna's going to come out and go, well, there's a group that, so.
There are families who do all kinds of stuff. But here's the thing. I object. I am lodging my formal complaint with the excessive use and loose use of the word star being put with porn. See, look here. There are levels to porn. There are porn stars, and then there's people who just getting their freak on tape.
Yeah.
If your sister is a star, then this conversation really wouldn't be happening because, you know, it just wouldn't. No. But your sister is most likely a porn actress.
Yes.
And she's not a star. You know what I'm saying? She's one step above the casting couch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I object. Not that I've ever seen. Okay, yeah, I done seen some porn.
Oh, come on, yeah. I wouldn't believe it at either one of you if you tried to say no. Tracy, I would.
Because I love the theater.
I do too. Tracy loves the theater.
Hey. Like you said that. I mean, I'm talking about, I like some quality act and, you know, up and comers. Woo.
Woo. That was a dumb joke. Oh my goodness.
Please read the comments so I can move on.
I can't.
But it gets worse. Yes. Where is the
Okay.
I pretty
So,
much knew it from the end of the last video. I was like, no, that's unfinished.
but here's the deal. It doesn't get worse. It goes hardcore.
Guess Mama used to be an actress too.
Nope.
She's
Here's the
still an
deal.
actress.
Here's the
She's
deal.
the casting agent.
No, here's the deal. Here's
Okay.
the deal. Not everybody got all of the information.
My dad came into my room last night to give me back my phone, and we ended up talking about everything, and I reopened my socials to show him what I've been dealing with and told him about what my mother said, and he got super angry about it. Yo, what? Did the mom just disown OP without even consulting her biological father about it? Yo, this is messed up. Guys, I'm getting angry. This post is making me angry. Okay. My parents have been fighting nonstop since about 6 a.m., which is scary because I've never heard my dad yell before. Basically, he told my mom that if anyone is leaving, it's gonna be her and her daughter because he's sick of her ruining everyone's relationships and lives over my sister's career. I think I heard him say that he has stuff to do at work, but I did clearly hear him say that he wants a divorce. I don't know if that was the heat of the moment or if he's serious though. My sister came into my room telling me this was all my fault. Yo, what? This is all OP's fault? Okay, calm down, Dabney. And I'm a disgusting person with internalized misogyny. She said that I should have come to her and she would have helped me deal with it by some stupid comebacks that I've seen people also mention in the comments. I told my sister that this was all her fault because everything leads back to her, and unlike our mom, I'm not going to enable her or lie to her about the reality of the situation and what I'm going through. Because it's her fault and I'm probably going to have to move schools. She told me that she'll talk to me when I'm mature enough to have an adult conversation and live in the real world. I told my sister when I leave this house, I will never speak to her and our mother ever again. My sister left the room in a huff and I heard her downstairs screaming at my dad. I locked the door and blasted my music so I couldn't hear anymore. I didn't dare open the door when my mother demanded to speak to me. As of now, my mother and sister are out of the house. My parents agreed that me and my dad will go to my aunt's for a week so everyone can cool down. My dad said that he might just look for a permanent place near his sister for me and him, but again, he's angry, so who knows. I might update in a few weeks if something happens, but I do know that my relationship with my sister, and especially my mother, will never be okay again.
Yeah, go ahead, Dad, because I'd be like that too. Divorce. 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 Of course, divorce. We getting divorced. Be me and my baby rolling. In our 5.0 with a rag top down so our hair can blow.
Okay.
Wow, y'all don't catch the rap.
I got the rap song.
Ice, baby. Ice, baby.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that time frame.
Everybody love that song.
Talking about Vanilla Ice. Everybody talking about Vanilla Ice is like talking about slavery. We just don't discuss it.
No, sir.
No,
sir.
We remember it. We just don't discuss it.
How did you just equate that? Is just horrible.
A white rapper to slavery.
I'm out.
That is horrible. No, sir.
No, so I'm joking, of course. Here's the deal.
Now, New Edition and Bad Music.
Oh,
now that.
So here's the deal. So the mother, blatant favoritism off the bat. This is blatant favoritism. You had the audacity to sit here and say that you're the older sister. By the way, the older sister is what, 26, 27 or something?
23 or something like that.
Yeah, you still at home. So F you, your decision making is like, so we're not gonna listen to you. So
I can't say that anymore.
I can for this reason. See, here is
She's not a star.
Okay, I didn't say
she's a struggling actress.
She's still mentally
The industry
struggling, too.
has her on her knees. She is trying to stand and flourish. Everybody needs help along the way. Sometimes that help comes from her parents. Sometimes that help comes from a couple guys that hired to do a scene.
Her
But
parents.
I'm saying you can't judge her for that part.
Her parent, not her parents.
No, because up
So-
until this all blew up, I'm pretty sure stepdad was cool.
Judge a book.
29. She was 29. Oh, hell.
Okay.
Hell.
Hey, she still got a whole career ahead of her.
Yeah. You cannot. There's a really great song.
But here's the deal.
Cannot judge a book by
You really showed your colors, Mom, and here's why I said what I said. Not only did you decide to throw the younger daughter out because she didn't, and here's where the 29 come from. No 16-year-old needs to protect a 29-year-old from being bullied that's only going towards the 16-year-old. And you want a 16-year-old who legally is supposed to be too young to be watching porn anyway, but you want her to defend you for the decision that you made to do.
It's talk about grooming a child in a different way.
There's background things going on here.
But number two, and most importantly,
Sounds like someone's scraping a.
Yeah, I thought I heard something scraping.
Weird. I even muted myself. I'm like, wasn't.
Hope it ain't me. I got a fan going, but that's not it.
Hmm. So you weren't scraping any? Okay.
Doggone it, Agent Johnson. Could you mute yourself, sir, till we finish the show? Number two, and most importantly of all, yeah, I'm going to divorce you so quickly because you made the decision to throw my child out because reasons. Because this is so stupid. I know what you said was the reason. I get it. It's still, to me, reasons.
You're still throwing a lamb out to the wolves.
I have a question. So, in the first video, I'm serious. In the first video, she referred to him as her stepfather. In the second video, she referred to him as her father. Now, in and of itself, that doesn't mean anything. That's fine. But where it gets confusing is this. The elder sister is the mother's daughter, biological daughter.
Yes.
From whatever, prior marriage, prior relationship, whatever it is.
Whatever.
That's that one, right?
Yep.
Then you have the younger daughter, who is also the mother's biological daughter.
Right.
Now,
where does
the father figure, if he's a stepfather, it's possible he could be the father of the elder daughter, but as we came to learn, he is not.
No.
So if all of this is correct, and there's no judgment here because this is basically families coming together in many different ways.
Yeah.
But he divorces the mother. He still can't take the daughter, probably.
Hold on, Theus.
Unless her biological father has relinquished custody, or he has legally adopted her. He can divorce the mom, and the mom will still have the authority.
Yeah, hold on for a second. Let me just play the beginning of this video because it's coming off as to me.
I know what he's saying.
At least by the end, it's coming off as the older daughter is the stepdaughter to the guy in the house. Let's just say that.
Right. Agreed.
They had the marriage produce the 16-year-old daughter.
So that
Only
is
if
his
I misheard
biological
in the
child?
first video
Yeah.
her
So
saying that that's
I
her
haven't
stepfather.
erased it yet. I haven't erased it yet. So let's see if we can get to
Okay.
the beginning part of it and see if that's what's said.
I'm a 16-year-old girl. I have a half-sister who's 29 from my mother's first marriage. We had a good relationship given the age difference. A few months ago, it came out that she was an adult actress. Her biological dad disowned her, which made my mom super protective of her. My mom made my sister out to be this brave, amazing person. I didn't say anything, even when they would have casual conversations about her work at the dinner table. Someone from my school found out about a week ago, and her videos have been sent around. I'm not going into details of what's been happening, but I've lost friends and I was forced to delete all my social media. I've been staying in my room mostly, and I haven't been able to even look at my sister. My sister didn't know that any of this was going on until tonight. The mom of one of my remaining friends reached out to my mom to ask about everything. I don't know what was said over the phone, but I heard my mom yelling at me to come down to the living room. Then she called my stepsister and my stepdad for a family meeting. Long story short,
Yeah.
My stepdad.
My stepdad.
So I still go with a nah on the whole daggone story.
I'm about to go
But-
nah too, because you're absolutely right. You could be mad all you want to, Dad, but you're the stepdad.
But no, he's rightful for being wrong, being mad. He's justified. I mean, that's still his daughter, right? It's his stepdaughter, but that's still his daughter. My concern is not is his anger wrong or is any of that wrong. My concern is he may lack the ability to protect her.
He could be mad, and I'm not taking the justification of him being mad. I would still be mad. I'm a stepfather too, and if something like that would have happened, yeah, I'm finna jump in and protect my kids. I understand that, but we have to be realistic and look at the legality of, are you capable of doing that? Now, having said that, it does make it a little easier to go to court and go, hey, she kicked him out to begin with.
And we're sure that saying her stepfather, that she wasn't referencing the first.
Well, the first father would not be a stepfather because it's from the prior marriage. So he doesn't factor in at all to her. He would be nothing to her.
Yeah,
right,
he would
be nothing to her.
No, she would be
right.
But the thing is, like, and this is where it's curious. Like, I love these thought projects. So he has established himself as her father. Okay, I'm going to make an assumption that
like I did with my
the biological
stepfather.
father,
he's my dad.
I'm gonna make an assumption that the biological father is not in the picture whatsoever. Let's just go ahead and kill him off, like he dead and gone. Okay.
Bam.
So in the divorce, the stepfather can be legally responsible for the financial care of her until such time as she is an adult or out of school. So he could end up with having to take care of her through child support until she is 18 or 22, whichever the situation may apply. But
then taking her is wrong?
That's what I'm saying. Given he has that responsibility because he has established himself as father and caretaker and protector and provider, then, that part slides. Should it not also then mean he has the same rights?
He has father's rights.
The father. But see, I don't think that's how the courts work. I don't think the rights are going to slide with him. I think the responsibility will slide with him. See, the responsibility for her care will continue, but his authority and rights to her as the father could be interrupted because of the dynamics of the situation. That's my concern. That's why that like the system just goofy.
Yes, agree.
So you'd have to pay for an expensive lawyer to try to navigate that mess.
And he'd have to try to adopt her really quickly.
Yeah. But like I said,
but the mom would have to allow it.
Right.
But that's what I mean. It helps the fact that your honor.
Not anymore.
Well, Theas, hold on, because it help. Two things help. one thing it does help that, hey, she tried to kick the daughter out. Number
Prove
two,
it.
if it was and number two, wait a minute, and number two, she is 16. If it was a younger age, yeah, but at 16, she is old enough
She
to
should be able to say where.
take into account that, yeah, she can make the decision of where she wants to stay.
She, in a normal situation, she would. Between her biological mother and biological father, she would be able to say to the court, I want to go with my dad.
Yeah.
Okay? Because there's no legal ambiguity as far as custody of this child.
Right.
So she could do that. And in some states, she could emancipate. In some states, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is a mixed marriage. So she would be able to testify. She'd be able to speak her piece. I would imagine she would be able to at 16. They would want to hear from her, right?
I hope.
But as far as her having a decision, I don't see it, dog. Because he is lacking the standing. That's the problem. He is the gap is on the stepfather side. He's missing standing.
Yeah, only if the judge was really a great, outstanding would I even think that they would take something into consideration from a 16-year-old.
And then the mom is just gonna lie because the mom is already proving us that she's just terrible.
I hate to say this part, and I really do, because I don't want to put a good spin on it simply because we're talking about this story. I really don't. I do not want. Let me preface this hard. I do not want to put a good spin on what I'm going to say.
Get ready for the comments.
I don't want to put a good spin on what I'm fit to say. I'm just, again, been in this country for a long time. Just being realistic. We don't know how the judge is when it comes to pornography. We just don't. You do have some judges who will look at this like your oldest daughter was into what? She going with the dad. Just by simply listening to that one part. Preference what I'm saying is I don't see absolutely nothing wrong with it. People can do with their bodies what they want to. And for all the people that sit there saying, oh, this is bad, this is terrible, and everything else, while you probably have like a stack or your computer needs to be cleaned out because you done looked at so many downloads that it'll crash y'all can miss me. F y'all.
And anyway, porn is free. Why are you downloading, man? It don't make no sense. I'm sorry.
Never mind. That's not the point. My point is,
I done said too much.
And you have no problem doing it. My point is, we don't know what kind of judge you're gonna get who simply just heard that one part of the story, and yeah, he'll listen to the rest of the everybody else, but he's already made up his mind that icky 16-year-old girl, don't want her.
Especially if he didn't like the video. Especially if the judge didn't like the video, he can be like, "No, your production quality sucks."
I'm gonna go with
and
that.
Then you got and then she's 29. So if she started late in the game, right, that could have meant she had a couple failed jobs before. She could have a bachelor's and a master's degree and just decided that this is what she wanted to do. She was 25 years old or 27 years old and decided to go into the business. And then that's just what she chose to do. In that case, she was a full-on adult. Ain't none of this got nothing to do with nothing, right? None of this story is really about the system, in my opinion. It's not about the system at all. It's about bullying, right? It's about bullying and natural consequence and really bad parenting.
Yes. Agree there. 1,000% agree.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. For Thea's come up with more pornography analogies.
I think what I said made good sense, in my biased opinion.
Parker, you ready to turn your phone around and let us see? Come on now.
Here we go. Something we haven't had in a long time. I usually would put this into the Foxy's videos of the week. Mickey has been a loyal fan on this show for the longest time. So Mickey should have her own segment. So everybody who's new to the show, and we got a lot of people that's watching, if you again, please hit that like button before we continue. I really appreciate it. The more likes, the more comments that we get, it gives the algorithm to other people to come watch what we're doing.
It tickles
And
the
make
fancy
sure you
of the algorithm. You know.
don't forget to tickle the balls. Of the,
Yes. And also subscribe.
Please subscribe because I am 11 subscribers away from our first 300.
Hey!
So please hit that subscribe button.
Wow!
So please continue. Please keep going. I truly appreciate all the new viewers that we're getting. Truly appreciate it. So here's
and hit the bell. Hit the bell. Subscribe. Hit the bell because just like good porn, this here is free. This is brain porn.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to do it. I literally knew he
But
was
he's
waiting
right.
for a word that was going to allow him to come up with another porn analogy.
Yep. But he's right. There is a great little bell there that allows you to specify whether you would like to see all, whether you would like to see some, or if you don't want to get notified, you want to come in and check on your own time. That's cool too.
He connected it to porn, Anna.
I know. I was trying to go on for
and
you.
what's so funny is I'm getting on Thea's, which is funny because I'm finna play a Mickey joke, which is like
90% porn.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But ladies and gentlemen who's new to the show, Mickey joke.
My wife was having a consultation to have a procedure done on her uterus, and obviously she wanted me to come with to help remember things and maybe come up with questions that she didn't think of herself. Her OB goes through all the specifics of the procedure and finishes up her presentation with saying that we won't be able to passionately hug for 2 weeks. My wife, being an eternal smartass, turns to me and says, "Did you hear that, honey? No passionate hugging for 2 weeks." Me, without skipping a beat, says, "Okay, but what does your dentist say?" My wife was not amused, but her OB doctor did think that it was funny as hell. Full disclosure, my wife found it hilarious later. I think she was more embarrassed at the time.
Just saying. There's a whole wide range of medical professionals here. You got your dentist, you got your proctologist, if that's what you're into. I mean, there are things that can be done. I mean, does she have carpal tunnel? I mean, she ain't got carpal tunnel. She can work with you there too, dog. I'm just saying. Hey, and some people, hey, if she got pretty feet, hey, I'm not getting into what people into. You know what I'm saying? You into pretty feet, you into pretty feet. And long as she got a good podiatrist, you know what I'm saying? And they can work that out too. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
How in the hell have I not been kicked off yet?
I'm just saying, what did I say? Well, I'm just talking about the amazing things that the medical community can do to help this here family over 2 weeks. I personally, just saying, y'all been married. She about to have her uterus removed. Okay, 2 weeks. I mean, I don't know. That's a long time for some people. That's a short time for other people. I mean, hey. But there are things that you can work with. Go get you some of them real nice towels.
Real or nah? Yeah, I really have a strange feeling that
Marlon, I'm hurt.
This will probably be just in case
You're,
this is our last show, I
you're,
appreciate everybody that came in. I apologize for the people who just subscribe to us and then like, where the hell did the station go? I apologize. Just let it be known it wasn't me.
Hey, y'all tell me I need to lighten up and not be so political all the time. I'm just saying there's a ray of
This is
sunshine
what
even
we
in the
got to
you're
rain.
doing
decide
a
between you being
great
political
job.
and porn.
Well,
What?
hey, you introduced porn into the conversation, not me, my brother.
A short while ago, you
Yeah.
were looking for your first 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was very excited about that. And again, thank you, Parker, because he was the one that got us there.
Parker.
Somewhat not.
My son.
Marlon Theus need a timeout. I've been trying for the last 3 years. If it ain't worked by this point, it ain't gonna work now. Theus, OMG, why do you do this? Nobody if he leaves, he's gonna come back and we're gonna go straight back to the same thing.
Well, wait a minute.
I haven't left. I can still hear you.
What did it say was your name? Complex mind, simple £.
What?
Okay, leave
Who?
the
Oh,
leave the.
it just cuts us off. Complex mind.
No. It's when he leaves the video. Can you turn your video off for just a moment,
Something else.
please? See, mind and number X2F.
Oh, what in the world was that? Complex minds cuss us out. I don't know what that means. It was just a whole bunch of stuff.
That
Okay.
is YouTube, my children, that are speaking to you, saying, "Do not be mean to my wonderful digital friend."
No, Susan.
I wasn't being mean.
Theus is not allowed to talk about cars again. No. Clean up under the chastity and all that other stuff. No. He was on a roll that day.
Oh boy. That didn't got me.
He just talked about the doctor warning about carpal tunnel and tried to stay away from them for at least 2 weeks.
Carpool tunnels?
I know he's
See?
saying carpal tunnel, not carpool.
Yeah, it's that spell check and got hold of stuff.
Yeah, it
Aw.
did. Porn, like palm.
It is
I
not.
know that porn is political, but that's palm. God from thee is talking down to us. God formed thee is talking down to us. He did say my children.
My children.
All right, here it is. You know how I feel about these feel-good stories, real or nah.
r/confessions. This might be kind of a confusing story, and I debated posting this, but I decided why not. So I'm a 15-year-old boy, and my math teacher, Vicky, is 35, and her husband is John, who's 40. My real parents are, or were, abusive alcoholics and drug addicts. They got arrested last year, and I was going to enter the foster system. I'd already told Vicky about my struggles with my parents, and I confided in her about me going into foster care. So I guess she jumped in, and her and her husband somehow became my foster parents. I'm already getting choked up by this story. I absolutely love living with them, and I feel like I have a true family for the first time in what feels like forever. Oh my god, this story is... Okay, I really want to ask them to adopt me, but I'm unsure of it. For one thing, I'm incredibly nervous and very non-confrontational. And second, I know the foster system gives people money to take care of the kids, so maybe they would be better off just staying foster parents. Oh my god. Also, they already make quite a bit because my foster dad is a doctor. I just don't know what to do. Could anyone please give me advice? Then, 23 days later, OP posted an update. They said yes! I finally get to have my happy ending. It was a very emotional moment, but honestly, I'm so happy I get to have a real mom and dad. Thank you everyone who responded. It meant a lot.
That's it?
That's it.
So, just
Real.
want to say, I am a major fan of of like the foster, not the foster system of
Mm.
foster children. Like I problem with some of the foster parents too, but the children who are wards of the state, I love anything that works to their benefit and all that. At the same time, the story fake as hell, but nice story though. I like the story. I like the story.
All right.
I say it's
Alan?
real. I say real.
Okay.
That absolutely could happen. Did I hear it correctly? The female was a teacher.
His teacher.
Wouldn't he have to go
What did
switch
she just say?
class?
Don't give a shit. All right.
That would be
Hey,
a really
Mickey.
thank you, Mickey. Yeah.
For everybody that's listening, I apologize for everybody that's listening because people put our videos on and just listen to us without looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey comes back with real or nah. I need a third choice. Don't give a shit.
But no,
Oh,
I'm like, look, I don't think the story is real. But and here's a couple more reasons why I say it's not real. Okay, so first of all, this is your teacher. So the odds of
right.
your educator being able to interface with your social worker and the state to then become your foster parent is unlikely. So that's
Okay.
a little
Even-
thin
even-
there.
and
Yeah,
look,
I
even
have to
at a high
adjust my
school level,
answer.
because wouldn't it be one of his teachers? And he's 15, so that's junior high, middle school. What the hell?
No, that's high school.
Or
15 is
high
high
school.
Would
football.
that not be
Yeah.
one of his teachers? Not the
Say again?
teacher? Would not-
Still,
Well, it doesn't matter. It's still his
Okay.
teacher though.
you're
You
still
know
a
what I'm saying?
teacher. You're still in a position. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to adjust to nah.
So that part is just it's highly unlikely. I'm not gonna say it can't happen because what if he's in a small town and small towns operate different than big cities. So there's all kinds of ways it could come to be. It just doesn't
The
ask
only
that
reason the only
hard for
reason
me.
I put this story up, I'm saying nah because the stars align greatly. I mean, yeah, I'll put it to the fact that you found the right teacher who happened to be married to a doctor, who happened to foster you.
Oh, I had
who
no
happened
problem with that part.
to
Yeah.
adopt you. That is kind of like the stars just aligned. But
They sometimes do.
it was something that Dabness, the guy that was narrating, said after the show that kind of like it hit a chord to me. Like real or not, it was just what he said that hit a chord to me. He said that I don't know if they are willing to give up the money that foster parents get for being a foster parent. And he said,
I heard that too.
Do you know how low your self-esteem have to be to feel like they would rather get the money from the foster system than to adopt you?
I think that's being more of an introvert and coming up with reasons as to why it wouldn't work out already.
Yeah, I would also attribute it purely to being. I would even go so far as say it could be purely something that comes out of being a foster child. So being a foster child, depending upon how long this young man was in the system, he's been moved around a few times. Okay, so it does horrible things to your self-worth, your self-identity, and things like that. And different children react differently to the same stimulus, right? So for some children, they act out, right? They become the class clown and they're hard to control. For some, they become violent because they can't figure out what to do with their anger and their rejection, right? And for some, they fall inside. They become introverted, severely introverted, so that they just kind of hide from the world and just want things to move on and nobody look at me. So there's different ways being a foster child hits a child because they're children, right? And then at 15, to have that rationalization, regardless of the fact that the father or the husband is a doctor. That's almost irrelevant when you look at it, and what has been your lived experience is wherever I go, money go. So you
My
can,
worth
like,
is
as an
only
adult, yeah,
okay.
as an adult, we might look at it and say, but yeah, the doctor at the low end, the doctor's making 80, 90 a year, right? He ain't hurting, right? He
Right.
may not be where he wants to be, or he could be making buku bucks, right? We don't know. But as a child, you can only reason as a child,
You still think
right?
my worth
You
is
could, you
tied
could look
with
at,
the
you could look,
payment?
yeah, you could look at the situation. Well, that's just extra money. I mean, I know he's
Mhm.
making, like you said, even on the lower end, that's $80, but hey, that's extra money coming in for them. So would they be willing to
Right.
give up the extra money? Because you got to look, excuse me, you got to look at it as, yeah, he's a doctor, and I'm just going by an introvert who's been in the foster system.
Right.
He's a doctor, but she's just a teacher. So the income
True.
flexibility is way off. So do they really want to miss out on that extra money from the foster system where they can have it?
Now,
Is it worth it to them?
how much in reality, and I know it would vary state by state, but how much does one get to be like, does it
I'd
anywhere
have to.
near cover the cost of a child?
It depends. Okay, so now that part I can speak to. Now the actual numbers, I'm not sure, because it's based on these weird allocations of food, shelter, clothing, and then they do some math, and then they say this is what it should be.
Okay.
But
Hold
what
on.
it costs,
The average public school teacher salary in the United States is $56,937 as of July 25th, 2023. But the average typical falls between $47,543 and $69,441.
well, for school teacher pay, that's a different thing, because a lot of times
Right.
teachers are anchored to someone else, right? So they might be a popular spouse for educators for some reason, or law enforcement officers, right? So it all depends. It depends on who she's married to and all that good stuff. How long she's been teaching. What does she teach? What credentials does she, like, all that stuff. But as far as the foster part of it, I'm just gonna make up a number, and I'm pretty sure I'm close. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like $1,200 a month. But the
That's what
thing
That
is,
doesn't seem like a lot.
huh?
It doesn't
But
seem like a
that's what I'm
lot.
saying. Well, it costs different to take care of a child. Also, that's the other point I should have made beforehand, which is like, how much does it take to take care of a child? It
Right.
really depends on the child,
Yeah.
So, and then you get paid more if the child has a disability or a special need. So
Okay.
there's a couple trains of thought that I've run into in this area. There's the people. Some people are foster parents because of the supplemental income, right? So you can almost be stay-at-home parent. The other parent goes to work, but you're stay-at-home parent or whatnot, and you get two foster children. Let's say they're giving you $1,200 apiece, $2,400 a month. That's more than a lot of people make on their job. So there could be that. Then there's another side where they just have a really caring heart. Their children are grown and gone, or they couldn't have children, or whatever it is, and they just want to do something to help, and the money is irrelevant, because more often than not, a foster parent is going to be reaching in their own pocket, because it ain't going to be enough. So
Okay.
the good foster parents.
That's
And
kind of
then
what
there's
I was.
also the frame of thought that I would imagine a child would come at it is the amount of money is irrelevant, because to them $1,000 sounds like a big number.
Right.
But for a child, the amount of money is irrelevant. It's more along the lines of, what would make a person decide to be a foster parent instead of being an adoptive parent?
Yeah.
See, an adoptive parent is saying, I want you, and I'm going to keep you.
Right.
Whereas a foster parent is going into a system knowing that the
It's
children will
temporary.
cycle through.
It's temporary. They'll
So
vary
there's
by state
that
the
frame of
number
thought
of
too.
foster children and the age of the foster children. The average is between 20 and 25 per day, or between $600 and $750 a month. And then I'm looking at this foster care workers
That's worse than I said.
salaries typically range between $32,000 to $65,000 a year. The average hourly rate for a foster care worker is $22.13 per hour, but foster care workers' salary is impacted by location, education, and experience.
Right.
Wow.
So even then, that second part you said will bring you right back up into that $1,200 range.
Yeah.
But it's still that thing, right? Like, I don't know that I could ever be a foster parent, and I love children, because I'm not going to let you go. And I'm not coming against the foster system, because if we as regular folk cared more, then we would push our legislatures more to fund that system better. Because more money should be going with these children. These social workers should be getting paid a shitload better than they get paid.
Yep.
Their caseload shouldn't be as high. All kinds of things are wrong with the foster system. All kinds of things are wrong. But because these are other children, right? These are almost, to use a phrase, throwaway children. The money ain't coming. Right? We'll spend the money over here. We ain't gonna spend it over there, because these kids, man, they ain't gonna do. Some might make it, some may not, and that's just how we treat it as a society. This is an intentional decision we all make. We either look at it or we don't look at it. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. But that's a tough place, because you need a foster system. Everybody can't be adoptive, right? Because adoptive is a connection and all this stuff. So you need a healthy foster system, unless you want to go back to having orphanages. And orphanages had all kinds of horrible things, because wherever you put a collection of victims, you will find predators.
Yeah.
Right? You put vulnerable people somewhere, the predators will come to it. Yeah. So that's why we don't have asylums, and that's why we don't have orphanages like we used to. So you have to be able to move these kids around. Mm-hmm. So it's a necessary evil. It's such a, like, only reason I know what I know is because of how I choose to donate certain things in my personal life, and some of the backstory of some people that I'm close to. But man, it's rough.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Foxy's videos.
Any of you who are foster parents out there, thank you. Thank you so much.
The good foster parents.
Foxy's, anybody who's taking care of a kid. Let's just put it there. Sorry, Mark.
No problem. Foxy's videos of the week. I chose the music. So we're gonna go down from
inspired by Foxy.
You wounded his soul on that one, Pierce. Wow.
I'm gonna go from serious down to laid back, but I had to put these videos in. I have said on this show many of the time, the things that I said on the show, the things that we've been saying on the show, is very rarely like we can look at a, am I the a-hole and get a repeat or something like that and change our mind on certain things like that. But when it comes to political and social events, it's very, very, very rare that we change our mind on it. And I've always said this, and to explain to a lot of people about receipts. So when I say you can look at my show and you can see the receipts, what I'm saying is the things that we're saying today is the things that we said years ago. So you can't say, oh, we're talking about this, that, and the other now, but you ain't say that when. And I say, look at my show, I have receipts. This gentleman right here did a parody. Just so you don't misunderstand, because it's writing on there is TikTok. You're not going to see what the guy is saying.
Okay.
But the guy is saying that he did a parody of somebody, and the people went, oh, that's a fake person. None of the things that you're saying happened. You're just making up stuff as you go along and everything just to make us, remember us people again, us look bad. So the guy came back and said, I have receipts of everything that I made fun of, so you can't touch me. So here we go. This is a guy who did his homework and showed all his receipts.
So apparently, according to this comment and many others like it, the impersonation I did of the right wing yesterday was completely unfounded. It was a fabricated straw man that I made up out of the blue. So in the spirit of fairness, I think we should go back through my dishonest and unrealistic portrayal and compare it to the things that Republicans are actually saying, so we can see exactly how inaccurate my caricature actually was. I think homeless people are disgusting and deserve to be rounded up and thrown in prison for obstructing my view.
The homeless have no right to turn every park and sidewalk into a place for them to squat. Under my strategy, working with states, we will ban urban camping. Violators of these bans will be arrested.
If you didn't want to go into crippling debt to afford your life-saving insulin, maybe you should have thought about that before you got diabetes.
Gates told his constituents that he opposed the bill because fat people, not big pharma, are responsible for driving up the cost of insulin.
I think that it's perfectly acceptable that I pay more in taxes than billionaires.
I don't really buy into the rich need to pay their fair share.
We should take away free school lunches because I've never personally met a hungry kid and therefore they don't exist.
Mr. President, I have yet to meet a person in Minnesota that is hungry.
I think we should eradicate the transgenders and stone the gays like my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ commands.
Transgenderism must be eradicated.
If you executed the homos like God recommends, you wouldn't have all this AIDS.
I believe that we should have biblical citizenship training.
We need to have some sort of legislation that requires constitutional life and biblical citizenship training.
Prayer should be mandatory, and anyone who doesn't pray to my Christian God should be thrown in prison.
Texas Senate pushed through a pair of bills that would bring religion back into public school classrooms.
I back the blue, so long as they're not defending Nancy Pelosi, and I actually think they should be more violent.
And when you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice.
How are they supposed to do their job if they're afraid to face consequences every time they commit a crime?
Mitch McConnell told local officials in Kentucky, without qualified immunity, how do we get people to do law enforcement work?
Train teachers to shoot rogue students.
President Trump and a number of other Republicans, as well as the NRA, have ramped up calls for arming teachers and other educators.
White power.
President retweeting a pretty controversial video.
White power!
Drown them at the border.
Texas troopers told to push children into Rio Grande.
Executions for abortion.
That new bill would criminalize abortion as homicide, meaning women who undergo the procedure here in South Carolina could face a death sentence.
I really hope that clears everything up for you.
See, here's the deal. Here's the absolute deal. I know this show and all the contributors to this show, it is small. It's not going to get out to the thousands and thousands and thousands of people, the millions of people that watch YouTube videos of people who are way bigger than us. I get that. This is not being placated and being sad and sobby on myself. I'm just being realistic. But here's what we're not going to do on this show is what platform I want to raise is everything that we say, we mean. We do research. We live these lives. Not a once in a blue moon situation that happens and we just go off the deep end and make comments. We live these lives every day. So every statement that comes out of our mouth, we've researched it, we've looked it up, we've lived it, or a combination of the three. So when we say that the There are people out there who says and do some heinous BS. We're not pulling it out of our butt to make ourselves look better. We have the receipts. We show you what they're doing. It's up to you if you want to believe it or not. Because hell, you can make anything out to be a lie if you don't believe it. You've done it with science. You've done it with history. That's fine. That's on you. But don't ever come on this show or any shows like this and go, you have no proof of it. The fuck we do? You can sit there and ignore it, knock yourself out. I can't stop you from doing that. But don't come on here or any of the shows like this and say you have no proof of it. When we show you the proof and you ignore it.
Challenge us. Challenge us with some facts of your own. And don't just come up with something. You know, we always preface, if this is something I believe, if this is something and I do not have the resources behind it, we will say that straight out. But yeah, I'm tired of the you don't know shit comments. Okay. Okay. What's your point?
There is no point.
There is no point.
But
you should have a point.
I'm sorry. I don't want to insult people. I don't. I'm just telling you what pops in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a fucking toddler who just have to make noise. I'm sorry. You just do. You're like a little kid who has to get the last word, or you have to make some type of noise to get people to look at you, and you feel good about it. This show is not like this. We will challenge you. You will bow down because you didn't start off with a decent argument to freaking begin with. This is getting old over and over and over again. And why I'm so passionate about what I do on this show, and I'm speaking for myself, everybody else have the right to speak for themselves too. I'm passionate about it because your rhetoric is fucking dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's not words that you're saying, it's actions. You released the grand jury address for the sake of having somebody that's delusional and dangerous to go and do something. Because you don't have the balls to go do it your damn self. Just like what you did when you released Obama's address. And what happened? A lunatic went to Obama's house. And you actually think you're going to come on this show and shut us up? And again, I apologize. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak for everybody. You ain't shutting me up. Because I've been on this fighting. And I will fight to the end. I can't afford to be scared. I don't have it in me. It's not that I don't have fear. That's being delusional. I'm not fucking Batman. That's just not me. That's not what I'm saying. I just know if I stay quiet and people like me stay quiet, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. I know this. It's not going to get better, and that's what your thought process is. If I get rid of you, then we won't do nothing. Bullshit. You're a liar. You're going to still do it no matter what I say. You just don't want to hear about it. You just want to do it and get away with it like you've been doing since the birth of this country. Otherwise, you would not have a problem with recognizing American history. You would not have a problem recognizing real science. You would not hide behind ideology that you find on the 10th page of Google from a blog that was done in 2012. So that's why I said, you can look at my shows and shows like me and realize to the simple fact that I ain't going nowhere. I'm just not. You're too dangerous for me to leave. I'm done.
All it takes for evil to win is for a good person to say nothing, to not speak out.
Amen to what they said.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit darker view of humanity, so I look at it and I'm just saying like this, man. The world gonna continue to be bad. It's always been bad, and it's a bad fucking place because people, not necessarily that people are bad, but negative is so much easier than positive. It is always easier to fall than it is to rise.
Mm-hmm.
It takes less energy, right? Gravity will help you down.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that do your best and do your best and always own your actions and realize that there's no one else, and these are my opinions, there's no one else for you to blame but you for the shit that you do. Okay? And if you want to see better things, try to do better things. You're not always going to get it right. You're not always going to succeed. But you yourself can be part of the light in the dark. So that's a choice we make.
Yeah.
And yeah. But different people got different motivations for the stuff that they do. And you got to decide, what do you stand on? What do you believe in? And then act accordingly.
And Susan said, has this been a problem on the show? I wouldn't have actually call it a problem, but it has come up.
There have been some comments where they don't have a point, but they still want to come at us.
But, as the goal is to grow, right?
Right.
The goal is to reach more people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as you do that, you will get what other people get.
Back. Yeah.
We will have those comments. We will have all of those things. I'm not saying don't get mad about it, because I can't stand ignorance. But just know it comes with the territory.
No, because there was a person who came on here and he said some things, and I'm like, okay, dude, I'm totally disagreeing with everything that you said. And I left them on because it's like, I don't agree with it, but you wasn't disrespectful. So
right. I think I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
But when you come off with blah, blah, blah BS, and then you end off with, you sound stupid, this is stupid. Dude, are you serious? And you thought you was going to stay? Are you serious? Like, there is a line that I'm not going to go across. You're not going to call me stupid. But
I trust your moderation. I'm just saying that I look at it and I'm like, I look at the comments and stuff of the type of shows that I do watch, and I watch a wide spectrum of political stuff. And I mean, you even find dumb stuff when I watch space documentaries, man. It's like, sometimes people just want to, fart out their mouth. That's what they do.
No, let's narrow it down. It was years ago. Trust me, it was years ago. When the Star Trek people was fighting the Star Wars people, I went, are you effing kidding me with this argument? Because they was going balls to the walls. I was like, Dude, it is not that serious, and they're just going blow for blow.
It's not that serious to you. So that's the
Okay,
problem
it's
with
not that serious
people.
to me, but to them, oh my God, it was
Yes.
to a certain point, it got cringy. Like
They react
mamas was brought into the conversation, and
right. So think about how I react to people who have a political approach or a social approach that I feel is directly contradictory to the benefit of the Black community being able to progress, right? Because that's where I'm at. Okay, It ain't about you attacking the Democrats or attacking the Republicans or anything like that. It's about I'm looking at what is going to improve the relative positioning of my community professionally, intellectually, politically, economically, all aspects. And if you come out here advocating something that I find will be dangerous or detrimental to the cause, I tend to get quite livid and get a lot more emotionally involved than I should. That's how these Star Trek and Star Wars people are, right? It's not the show. It's not that you're attacking Star Wars. Say you attack Star Wars, but what you really just did was you just attacked my choice of entertainment. You just attacked how I view, all kinds. It's like you came at me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like when I say something about New Edition. And I like New Edition.
My dog just...
I can't do negative today. Positive vibes.
I'm just putting a mark on the tally board for Theus. It's a mark on the tally board.
I said what we was gonna fight for on this show. I didn't say that we weren't a-holes. Next video. Glad you enjoy yourself, Al. Next video, only because I've seen
Y'all are amusing as fuck.
Next video.
Marlon, why you be disinfecting me like that, man?
Whatever, you all right. The next video is only reason I'm about showing the next video is because I've seen this on YouTube. On YouTube, on Facebook, on social media, I've seen this argument over and over and over again. And this lady put it in perspective for me. I'm just gonna let her talk and get out of the system. So here we go.
Not one person recognized the fact that a grown-ass fucking man hit a woman over the head with a fucking folding chair.
But did she die? What do you mean? We all recognize that, Mr. Jean Jacket Jeff. I don't know about anyone else on here, but I've watched it probably at least 48 times. And it keeps getting funnier every fucking time. Because you see what happened here, Jean Jacket Jeff, is that old woman, she felt froggy. And you know what she decided to do? She decided to jump. And you know what happened? She got fucking thumped. And that's what happens. If you want to go out there and you want to try jumping in, fighting with the men and everything like that, then prepare to get your shit rocked. Zero sympathy. Zero sympathy for those entitled fucking assholes that just thought that they could do whatever the hell that they want to do. You mean to tell me you watch that whole video and you're just like, the grown man hit the woman. That's right. And that grown woman hit the man too. That's why she was laid the fuck out on the ground. Did you see that man that got beat out of his Crocs though? Did you see that, Jean Jacket Jeff? Because that shit was, that was equally as funny. You see, I'm not a violent person, Jean Jacket Jeff. That's the old me, okay? I'm not a violent person anymore, but I'm also not above fucking violence. Let me ask you this. Could you imagine, can you even begin to imagine what would have happened to that man if all those other people didn't come jump in and have his back? Don't worry, I'll wait. Go ahead, answer. Never mind, you don't have to answer because we all know what would have happened. I am glad that karma instantly got them. I'm glad that all of those people had that man's back, and I am glad that that man got beat out of his fucking Crocs.
I've said this on the show, talk about receipts, because I've said this millions of times on this show. I don't condone violence, but I can understand it. We live in a society where it is predicated on violence against women. I've always said this. I raised my sons on this. I raised my daughters on this. You do not put your hands on a woman in anger. I.e., you're having an argument and all of a sudden you need to put your hands on it. No. You're in the wrong, period, point blank, end of discussion. I'm done with this. You do not put your hands on a woman in anger. Now, I pulled my sons to the side and told them, and I may have said this the wrong way, so please do not take this the wrong way. It's the only way that I knew how to say it. You do not put your hands on a woman in anger, but I'm not raising on punks. I.e., don't have them beating the crap out of you because of what I said. You have every right to defend yourself. To a certain point, don't act a damn fool and act all out of your damn way and everything, but you do have the right to defend yourself.
I would contend that self-defense is not violence. It's an answer to violence.
So, a couple things. First thing I'm gonna say, thank you, Anna. I've been saying that for years, and people don't seem to hear me. Okay? Violence is the initial act. You choosing to start the confrontation. That's violence. Responding to the violence is either going to be a continuation of violence or it's just self-defense. It literally would not be happening had I not been attacked, right?
Yes.
Now, there are layers within that, though. Like, for example, words should not result in physical reaction, except for in my book. This is me, because I do not have such a prohibition on violence. But there are certain words that I consider to be words of violence. So those words do, in my view, justify a physical response. Right? It's a short list, but there's some words out there. But to the video, I agree with her overarching part. Her overarching point, I'm 100% with her. All that good stuff. I think that we've blown it out of proportion because Black folks for so long have been waiting for an opportunity to see somebody stand up for us, and we just had to stand up for ourselves. And so we're using this one fight as something bigger than what it actually is. But that's cool. Whatever. I still don't agree with hitting that woman with that chair, only because she posed zero threat at that point. She was literally an open target at that moment. So I don't agree with that part. But in the midst of a fight, stuff happened. But I just think that was an action that didn't need to happen. Then going to what Marlon was saying, I do agree that a man should never put his hands on a woman in violence, in anger, with some caveats. She poses a serious threat, right? She's got a weapon, right? Gun, knife, bat, right? Okay. You might have, you got to defend yourself in that moment. But in all cases, when it's a man and a woman in any level of physical conflict, it is only until the threat is stopped. Right? You don't sit there and box with a woman. You don't sit there and beat her like she's a man. You don't do that. First thing you need to do is see, can I run away? Yes, I know your ego don't make you want to run, but it ain't about what's right and what's wrong. It's about what's necessary and unnecessary. I would rather you deal with a bruised ego than you use the force that we have as men on the frame of a woman. I'd rather. That's just me. That's how I feel. Now if a dude put his hands on you, well, but that's how I feel about it. I just don't think that should happen. But guys, I apologize. I do have to bounce, Marlon and Anna. Okay. But that is how I feel about mixed gender type things. There's also how I feel about violence. I just, I will never tell the aggrieved how to react to aggression. But even within your response, justified or not, you got to decide how you're doing it and what's warranted.
Mm-hmm.
But I love all you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
See you tomorrow, Theus.
Good night.
Good night.
Because I have been so concentrated on it's been support group weekend. Last weekend we actually had one today, and I'm gonna be busy next weekend, so I've not been paying attention to the news. I don't know this story. Can you give me a little rundown?
Okay, what happened was we're talking about the Alabama port situation.
Port. Okay.
What has happened was that there was a group of white individuals who was in a boat.
Okay.
I want to say showboat, but that's the wrong word. A showboat had the authority to port where their boat was sitting at.
Oh, okay.
What happened was the co-captain came off the ship and was explaining to the guys that, hey, can you move your boat so our ship can port there? This is where we're supposed to be.
Okay.
And I did a whole show of it if I'm missing some points. And anybody that's still watching, if you want to throw in some points too, feel free. I may be missing something. And my mind is like gone the later it gets. So
sorry.
The guy, the white gentleman, decided to go from FU. And by the way, when I say FU, there is recordings of him for the first 5 minutes of the thing just putting up his middle finger. I'm not moving. So when the co-captain was explaining, can you please move your boat? Can you move the boat? It escalated. And the white man, along with his white family, jumped on the black co-captain. Where it really got big was people, some white and some black. Now, but let's concentrate on the black, because when I looked at the video, there were a sprinkle of white people that was in the fight too.
Okay.
Black people came from out of nowhere and jumped on the white couple, the white group.
Okay.
And they scattered. And one of the people, this story that we're talking about right now, one of the stories was a woman who jumped into the fight too, and a gentleman of color had a chair and hit the woman across the head with the chair.
Ow.
The white people left, got back on the boat, thought it was safe because they thought it was over. A group of mixed people, because I don't think everybody was black, but it was a mixed group.
Okay.
Got them all, dragged them off the boat, and fought again till the police came. And that's pretty much the whole story. I know I'm going a roundabout way of saying it, but that was really the story. One of my shows, and I'll probably email you the show that we really did talk about, or see your video of it again, of the event. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just email you the event itself and you can look at that.
Yeah, please do.
But that's the roundabout way. There were several arrests, including the whole family that started the whole thing. Well, it was arrests, but they did turn themselves in. include a man that hit the woman with the chair. He did turn himself in. So
as long as you're willing to take responsibility, you jumped into a fight.
Yeah. I thought the person who asked him to move was an employee. He was the co-captain, Susan. He was the co-captain of the boat. It was just telling him to move your little boat out the way. Ship, I'm sorry. He was the co-captain of the ship who happens to be black. And they jumped on it. That's why the lady was saying, if nobody jumped in and said anything, what do you think would have happened? And that was her point. If nothing would have happened, this guy would have been hurt a lot worse. But,
And what do you miss by moving your boat? By actually abiding?
This was.
I don't get it. I don't get why people make really big deals over something actually small.
Let's say there probably was some alcohol involved, and I'm white. You ain't gonna move me.
And entitlement, yeah.
And entitlement, yeah. So I'll send you the video. Probably not tonight.
Yeah,
but tomorrow.
I'll try to send you a reminder.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and skip the next one because I wanted this as a thought on the next video in a way. And for the fact that I think the next one is more funny, so to speak. So let's go ahead and end it off on a good note. Favorite pickup lines?
You must be a microwave. Because I really wanted to take you to the movies today, but they won't let me bring my own snacks. I'm gonna call you Abraham Lincoln because you're causing an uprising down south.
Why you gotta record this and put this on the internet? Not in my bonnet.
I don't care about that bonnet. Your bone structure gives my bone structure.
Yeah, baby. Come on, Adam. That was some good ones. That was some good ones.
You see the smile on my face?
See, this is what I think is wrong with America. Those lines right there, I'm doing a theist. Those lines right there is what's wrong because they used those lines during slavery. Stuff like that.
There was a line about Abraham Lincoln and the uprising down south.
I like the Abraham Lincoln one. The rest was embarrassing. And here comes this. I gotta use that snack line. Okay, he actually liked one.
I did like that one. I did. He said I can't bring my own snacks. and her smile. That was great.
All right, everybody, make sure that y'all tune in to Tracy's show Friday with Anna. What is the name of the show again?
High heels and blue jeans.
Next Friday at what time?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, on Tracy's, I believe on Tracy's channel.
Yep. So y'all make sure that y'all tune in and watch her show. Give her all the support in the world to her. And again, do not forget to go into their show, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, chat on
And
the
we
show.
may be talking about Tara Reid, and if anybody doesn't know, Tara's doing an extended vacation out in Russia. And I don't mean vacation. You'll see.
She gone.
She gone. She's not being allowed back in.
What? No lipstick. Susan, I was trying to be nice and stop doing those jokes, but you're a grown woman. I'm not gonna do that.
I kind of enjoy them. I like all the different the ways that you can pull something out that it still makes me laugh.
Make sure that y'all tune in to High Heels and Penny Loafers.
Indeed.
That's a Michael Jackson reference. Anna, tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, besides here, you can find me on BorelliAetc.com, written down right there. And other than that, right here on Radical Truth to Power. But yes, please come in next Friday. I pray to the health gods that I can hold up. So come on in for some fun. We're gonna have a samba party.
All right, on behalf of Biz, on behalf of Tracy, on behalf of Anna, that is our show for tonight. Please do not forget to tune in. On the way out the door, please do not forget that like button. Tomorrow, of course, like I said, if you're new here, it is our serious show. But we will be breaking down everything about the January 6th indictment of Trump in its purest form. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. And of course,
I'm assuming you're LGBTQ until you.
We will see you tomorrow, and until next time, peace. See, this is the part where I miss Diaz, because Diaz would say something silly.
I know I don't have anything fun to say. LGBTQ, y'all.